Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the podcast show for the average Joe. I almost messed up there. The Wrestling Diaries. Real quick, before we continue on, if you can hear the sound of my voice right now, stop what you're doing. Go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. And if you don't listen to podcasts, then you need to start today with the Wrestling Diaries. Stop what you're doing. Go follow us, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the other ones that are out there. Follow us, like us, give us a clap, give us some positive comments, tell your friends and family about us. And also, if you want to see all these pretty faces that I have on week to week, check us out on YouTube. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can also stop what you're doing and go do that as well. I'm your host, Mitchell Roulane, and we're back at the podcast show where struggle is manhood, or womanhood in this case. And for the first time ever, ladies and gentlemen, on season 2, I have my first ever return guest. Second time for her to be on the show. That's how cool she is. Suzanne Preston from Manchester, England. Woo woo. What's up, Suzanne?
I liked that.
You liked my introduction?
Yeah. I loved your intro.
I tried to copy, what was his name? The guy that used to do the Ready to Rumble boxing matches. Buffer. His last name's Michael Buffer. Right. Because his brother, Bruce Buffer, does this stuff for the UFC now. A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Half brothers. Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's actually really nice to be back, and looking forward to chatting to you again.
Yeah. So look at your cool. Let's talk about your background that we're looking at right now. We've got all this greenery. We got this red rug and these pillows. What's going on back there?
Plants.
Yeah. Plants.
They don't chat back.
They don't chat back. You don't talk to your plants though? I heard that scientifically, like if you speak positive things, your plants will grow better for you.
Yeah,
produce better oxygen.
That's an energy thing. But yeah, no, I do. I do like being surrounded by plants.
Do you have a peace lily? Is that the one that's on your right shoulder, left shoulder?
This one here, yeah. I've got a couple of them actually.
Yeah, I love peace lilies.
Yeah, it's been alive for years. Had a few incidents. Someone fell into it and squashed it, but it's...
Oh my God. But it came back. It looks good. It looks really good. I got a peace lily at home that I need to kind of fix up. It's kind of looking kind of bad. I need to do some trimming on it or whatever. They're really good though.
They do love a lot of water, peace lilies.
Yeah, I need to start watering it more. They drink a lot of water, and they don't need a lot of sunlight though, do they? Right?
Well, I mean, I'm currently in Manchester and there's very little sunlight. They seem to be okay.
Yeah, a lot of clouds out there in Manchester.
Seriously.
So geographically, Manchester, that's above, obviously it's above London. How much further away from London is Manchester?
You know, I'm not too sure of the exact distance. It's about 2.5 hours on the train.
Okay.
Manchester is north and to the west.
You always take a train back and fro? You can't drive there? Or?
Usually. I don't drive at the moment. I used to have a car, but it's just so much easier jumping on the train. And I tend to cycle everywhere. So
I was about to say, I've seen like your Instagram posts of you like on a bike or something like that. You're biking through town and stuff.
I've got a couple of bikes. I love my vintage bikes. So I have one old rally racer, like a road bike.
Yeah.
And then one that's more of an upright, leisurely chauffeur, like a 1970s rally.
Sure.
I just think it's a great way to get around, and it's exercise. It keeps you fit.
Okay, so for people that have not listened to our first episode that was on season 1, I'm going to, I guess, give a mild discography of you, and then you can kind of take over. But you do yoga. You're also an actress. And then are you still modeling? You still doing that? Tell us about that.
I actually did a shoot yesterday, which was freezing. Just like a collaboration with a photographer that got in touch. That was interesting, and we're going to like explore a few more shoots when it's raining this time, because it wasn't yesterday. But not the past year or so. Very, very little work. Obviously, been a huge lockdown. which we all know about. So
Yeah.
not so much.
But you told me the other day when we were speaking on the phone that you were on a Zoom call with the casting director for some film or something. What, can we talk about that?
It's like an actors network called Act on This for TV, and they have various different sort of webinars or interviews with people within the industry. Also, it's a really good way of just connecting with the community, I guess, of people that are in the same industry.
Yeah, I've got to be honest here. After our first episode that we had all those months ago, I went and stalked you on Twitter and stuff like that, and I found out that you were in a couple of music videos.
Do you know,
one that had Machine Gun Kelly? I don't think it was him. It was a band featuring Machine Gun Kelly, and you were in that music video.
It's so funny. I've never really posted anything I've done. And I was thinking the other day, I should, just because I was going back at stuff I'd done. It was just before New Year, you know, when you start looking back at a bit retrospective. It was Sleeping with Sirens and Machine Gun Kelly.
Sleeping with Sirens. Okay, yeah.
That was... I'd tell you the really funny thing about that. The video, the production company were based outside Manchester in a big warehouse. They've created like a studio there. We finished shooting for the day, and I was hoping for a lift back. And the makeup artist said, "Oh, I'll give you a lift back." I was like, "Great," but then Machine Gun Kelly and his manager, were like, "Oh, you can get a lift with us if you want." And I was like, "Oh, it's okay. I've already agreed to get a lift with the makeup artist." We walked back down to the car park, and they had an immense white limo. And like the makeup artist had this like little car. We got into it, and she was like, "You should have gone in there," but you know, it was too late. Anyway, yeah.
Wow. So did you get to talk to the band and meet and like hang out with Machine Gun Kelly and all that stuff?
Yeah. We were
trying to invite you to after party.
No, we were shooting in the day, and it was everyone was pretty well behaved. But it's a really good video. Did you watch it at all?
I did. Yes, I did. I was going to ask you too. Do you like that kind of music? Sleeping with Sirens? Is that the kind of music?
I really like. I hadn't really listened to them much before, but I do like what they do. Yeah. No, like I say, I hadn't really listened to them before, but I do. I did quite like that track as well.
Yeah. What about Machine Gun Kelly? Do you listen to any of his stuff?
Not hugely. But
there was a pause there, and I was like, "Oh, that's a definite no there."
No. The thing is, I say not hugely because recently I've just been listening to like super chilled stuff.
Yeah, you sing very zen. Yeah,
but when it comes to music, it depends what mood I'm in, what I want to hear, what I want to listen to. You know, yeah.
Yeah, Matt listens to a lot of Luther Vandross. He doesn't. He probably doesn't even know who that is. Oh my God. You were in another video too. Another music video. Did I forget the band or whatever? Do you remember what it was on your Twitter?
So many music videos. I really enjoy doing videos. Yeah.
Oh, wow. How many total would you say, if you can remember?
I don't know, maybe 7 or so.
Whoa.
I know that's sort of, I see that as being quite a lot considering.
I'm going to ask you for a digital autograph after we end the show.
But you know, I tell you, if you did, how much stalking did you do though? Do you know?
I saw the 2 music videos you were in, and I also saw like you went to some masquerade ball with a bunch of beautiful looking people with sparkles and masks and stuff. Stuff like that. Other stuff I probably don't remember. But
I'm only asking because you missed. I thought you were going to highlight something else, which I always forget. But a few years ago, I did some voiceover work for Lego computer games.
Okay.
And one of them was Lego Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nice.
Yeah. And the crazy thing was you were not allowed to speak a real language or real words. So it was just gibberish, really. But it had to sound as though it was a real word.
Now, did they have a title or a name for this kind of vernacular you were using?
No,
just gibberish.
Yeah,
Can you do some of it for us?
And then you had to, like dying, falling, but
wow.
But I'm just telling you this because
no, wait, keep going. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I recorded it in a little studio somewhere near Manchester, and I was getting the train back, and I got a message from the producer that had been putting it together. He said, "Oh, you do know who you've been working with." Basically, all of the cast from the film declined, apart from Johnny Depp. And I was like, "Oh, okay." But he'd recorded it in I guess wherever he was in the States. But yeah, so on the IMDb, it's like I've worked with him, just not in the same room.
Wow, you big JD fan? You got the hots for Johnny Depp?
I used to.
You used to?
I don't know.
You don't anymore? What's up?
I definitely did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sort of thing about him.
Yeah? What is it? What's about him?
Like I say, and I'm not saying I don't anymore. It's just not. I don't know, a free spirit. There seems an element of a free spirit about him. And
sure, yeah. Yeah, that's what all the girls say. Not.
Yeah.
He's so hot with his big doe eye. Yeah, I think he's super hot.
Oh, yeah. He is. Yeah.
Oh, you mean who's my celebrity like crush or whatever? Is that what you're asking?
No, I thought you were describing how people speak about you.
Oh no, do they? I don't know. I don't know what people speak about me. That's not up to me. You know, I was just curious. I didn't know if you're like one of those girls that has like the poster of him on the wall. I've known so many white girls and other girls of color and other races. They're just mostly white girls though. If I was here in Alabama, they're just all into some Johnny Depp. They got him all over the walls, everything.
Still now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't mean that like only because
like even like some teenagers, right, that didn't grow up on the Pirates of the Caribbean movies because it came out in the early 2000s. You're like, oh yeah, Johnny Depp, he's so sexy. I was like, he's like 80 now. What are you talking about? What about Brad Pitt? What do you think of him?
Yeah, I like him.
He's
I like
a hottie
him
with a naughty body.
Yeah, but I like the work he does. I like a lot of the films he
is, like in all seriousness, all jokes aside, yes, he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Probably one of my favorite roles that's kind of, I don't want to say underrated, but it's just my personal favorite is when he played Achilles in Troy. My God, loved his role in that. It's just the scene between him and Perseus when he's like telling her about how the gods envy us because we're mortal and stuff. I was just like, geez. And then she's like, I thought you were a dumb brute. I could have forgiven a dumb brute. She realizes he's like super deep and super intelligent and he's not just like a cold-blooded killer. Yeah. I don't know. He embodied that character, I think, really well.
But no, I'm going to watch it now. You've mentioned it. I'd completely forgotten about that.
Have you not seen it, Troy?
I don't think I have.
Oh, have you ever read the Iliad?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to watch Troy then.
Okay.
Or read the. Well, I was going to say read the Iliad. Nah, just watch Troy. You're good.
No, I prefer reading before I see the film. But yeah.
Yeah, but if you read it, you can't see Brad Pitt's ass. You can see his ass in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm silly. I'm goofy. This is me. This is what I do. So what else is new with you besides real quick before I ask this question, when you were doing the voices for the Lego characters you're talking about, you know what that reminds me of? The little minions from the Despicable Me movies. That's exactly what it made me think of. Like they talk in that kind of gibberish kind of language or whatever.
It's just in response to that. When I got the train back, I sat there and thought, I can't believe I've just been paid to talk gibberish and act like a child for 3 hours. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I do. If I could get a role like that, I would have a field. I'd do that now for free, you know? So if I could do it for money, you best believe your sweet ass, I would be killing it. What was I going to ask you? I was going to ask you what have you been up to? I know you guys you're locked down pretty harshly in England. So have you been getting into anything else that you can get into? What can you do?
I mean, to be honest, I did go through a phase of feeling quite frustrated because I was planning on going away a few times and all the gym's shut. And one of my main things I love doing is swimming. Are you just on your phone there?
Sorry, I forgot to turn it off. My sister was calling me. How embarrassing! Don't cut this out, Matt. This is funny.
Checking I wasn't wasting my breath.
I'm so sorry. No, I'm sorry. I got to be careful. Suzanne will hurt me. Please continue on from the top. I apologize.
Yeah, a lot of places shut, gym shut. So lack of swimming. It was a bit harsh before Christmas, or I felt as though it was. Because I haven't also spent, well, the whole winter in the UK for years. I usually make a point of getting out of the country in the winter, usually November, over to Mallorca for a month, just to get some sunlight, because lack of sunlight really affects you.
Yeah, definitely.
So
makes you depressed, right?
Yeah, hugely. We need sunlight to create vitamin D. So I was feeling a little flat, and definitely feeling more positive recently. And I've just chosen not to focus on all of that, and it's like focus on what can I do. It's like when things are out of our control, we still have choices to how we respond. Instead of sitting there and playing victim, it's like, right, how can I make a positive change? What do I need to focus on? So just going back to what you asked me, what have I been doing? I'm focusing a lot more on bliss and chaos, which I created when we met on the course.
Right. So explain to people what that is that don't know.
I guess it's a method that helps you connect mind and body to enable you to live in a powerful state of ease, fluidity, and freedom. It's comprised of disciplines that have worked for me in my life. So yoga, Pilates, meditation, somatic work, which is a little different.
What is that somatic work?
More of there's, I guess, many elements to it. When it comes to the physical, it really helps to reprogram learned behavior in the body, the simplest way.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, just compiling in more of a succinct manner everything that's worked for me.
Is this all just completely digital, or do you offer these services locally to where you're at in Manchester?
I don't, and to be honest, at the moment here, I don't like to say we are not allowed, because I do believe we're responsible creatures. We can do things, but no, you can't run any sessions.
And that sucks too, because you are a yoga instructor, right? So you're not being able to teach right now.
No, I'm still running my online sessions. Sort of
just
online
not like
yoga,
physically, like live one-on-one with people.
But I have worked out that Zoom works really well. You can see what people are doing. You can adjust them verbally rather than, it works.
Yeah. So what is the, I guess, Parliament, or what is their plans for your country? Like when are y'all going to open back up? Like your economy can't.
Don't get me started on this.
Well, you can give me just a brief. If you can't brief it, we'll just move on to another subject.
We do not believe. Did you say something about getting back to normal?
Well,
no, I'm just.
I don't know if we're ever going to do that, but they got to open stuff up. People have got to.
Yeah, but open what up? And I ask you that question because I live in the city centre, and over the past few months, I'm not walking past shops that are just closed. They're now empty. They've shut down. The businesses have shut down.
Yikes.
And when you just seeing that, it's like, right, okay, so when apparently things reopen, who's going to be left open?
I guess nobody, right? Do you personally know any of these people that own some of these small businesses? Do you
To be
know
honest,
any of them?
a few of the smaller businesses, cafes, a few cafes they're still open, which is great to see.
Sure, yeah.
Really, really good to see, and they're doing delivery cocktails and stuff. But no, I was just surprised to see large stores shutting down, large restaurants, and just odd to see in what was a very vibrant city. So even when things reopen, I don't know how things are going to go. Because I'm not going to go off on a big tangent here, because
I mean, we can be optimistic and hope that things will slowly but surely kind of start edging back to some form of normal, right? Fingers crossed. The long pause.
I just know
You're making me nervous. Stop making me nervous, Suzanne. No, I'm nervous for you.
This is a huge shift from, I guess, the way we were living to the way we will be living. We're in this transition. We should be so grateful that we're here to experience this.
So, I mean, what you were talking about earlier, this happens, lockdowns happen, but you have to adapt the best you can, and like you said, just the best thing that comes out of it just makes you stronger, right? You figure out a way to do what you got to do to survive and live.
It's true. I mean, I believe it's true. It doesn't mean it's easy.
Sure.
But
yeah.
It means that you can live with a little more integrity instead of sitting there rolling over and sedating yourself with junk on television and not trying to do something positive and make a change.
I feel you're saying that. I feel so convicted right now. I just spent what was it, half of my whole day the other day watching Cobra Kai on Netflix.
I'm not saying,
I feel like such a piece of crap. You lazy piece of shit, Nichole. Get off your ass and do something. The world needs you. But I'm not special. I like watching Cobra Kai. That's it.
When I said it like that, I didn't mean binging for a day or two. What I mean is when you stop living and you start existing and sedating yourself and not really doing anything. I've been guilty of that. Can you ever remember, or have you ever come across Mork and Mindy?
Mork and Mindy, yeah, that's an old show.
Yeah, Robin Williams. It was one of the first shows he did. I don't know when they started it. It's like him as an alien that comes to Earth in this egg. I found some on YouTube and I got really obsessed. And I don't think I slept. I've watched it until 5, 6 in the morning and a few nights running. So I have binged, but.
Robin Williams, without ever meeting him and knowing him personally, I love him like a friend. I don't know him, but he's literally my top 5 favorite actors of all time. Just the movies, the versatility he had, and also didn't he have some mental health issues? Obviously, I feel like that kind of played a part in his demise, but I think he had ADD, ADHD or something. I don't know. But
I can't remember what the label that was given to it was, but
it's very hyperactive.
Yeah.
He was wonderful though, man. He was a true artist. He was funny. He did stand-up comedy. A lot of people don't realize that before he started doing shows like Mork and Mindy and whatnot. He did stand-up comedy, so he wrote, he told jokes, and then then when he did the drama roles where he wasn't being silly and doing all the funny voices and hopping around like a madman, I mean, it's incredible. 1 Hour Photo, that movie Insomnia he did. Just Jesus. Oh, Good Will Hunting, the one he won the Academy Award for. Jesus Christ. He played was a psychiatrist or something like that? Psychologist? Yeah, super good. Matt, what's that movie that he did where it's the purple dinosaur thing? What is it? You know what I'm talking about? Smoochie's Dead or something? Do you know
something Smoochie is Dead, something like that.
Where he's I'm not gonna be crude because we have a lady present, but there's a scene in that movie that's just so funny.
The rocket ship?
Explain, I don't know.
Well, he's talking to somebody and he's like, you see this? And he's holding a dildo, a big purple dildo. And he's like, you see this? And he's waving it around. He's like, this is a it's made from dildo. It's so simple, but it's my favorite thing in the world next to Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It is just, it's the tits. I love it. Anyways,
what was the film called?
Death to Smoochie. That's what it is. Yeah, don't ever watch that movie.
I've never come across it.
It's a bad movie. It's a naughty movie. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Don't watch it. Yeah, but yeah. So, being an actress yourself, who are some of your favorite actors besides you being super in love with Johnny Depp? Who else you got?
Oh, please! You have really pushed that. I'm not super.
I like pushing it. I'm pushing. What can I say?
I really have to think now. Recently, apart from me mentioning binging a little bit on Mork and Mindy, I've really not watched much. So going back, let's see. Oh, We spoke about this last time.
The gangster movies.
The what?
Remember, last time we talked about how much you and me liked gangster movies.
Yeah.
Right. Godfather, Scarface.
Yeah. The reason I thought that, because Al Pacino is definitely one of them. But I tell you, what's his name? Spanish actor. Oh, he was in No Country for Old Men.
Oh, oh my God, I know who you're talking about. That guy. Something Bohem Carter. Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem, yeah.
Javier Bardem. Yes.
Brilliant.
I love that guy.
Also,
brilliant actor.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. Oh,
oh my God. Especially, I mean, in many, many films, he's brilliant. But in The Joker.
Yes, me and Matt went to see that opening night. Remember that, Matt? To go see The Joker? Yeah, he was good. And then in Walk the Line, where he's playing Johnny Cash, spot on, man. Even the singing and everything. Jesus Christ, I love that guy. My favorite role, though, he was in was that movie where it's like set in the future, and he like writes like love letter cards or something. I think it's called Her. And then like he falls in love with the AI, and it's the voice of Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, that's my favorite movie with Mr. Phoenix.
And then the one he did with Philip Seymour Hoffman about the Church of Scientology.
I hadn't seen that one. I know what you're talking about. I have not seen that movie. I don't know the name of it either.
Very good again. Yeah. I think I like it when you really see the actor's inner world. You know, they're rather than
He also he was in that movie. He played the Emperor in Gladiator with Russell Crowe. He did a really good job in that one as well. That was a damn good movie.
Not seen that.
You haven't seen Gladiator? All right, so let's just stop
wait
the podcast for a second.
Yes, I have. I thought when you said it, this was a recent film, but this is Gladiator that was around like 15 years ago, is it?
Yeah, it was like late 90s, I think, maybe early 2000s.
Okay.
Maximoff, the general of Caesar's army.
That one.
Sold into slavery and then becomes a gladiator. Oh God. I love that movie so bad. Oh my gosh, you're delightful, Suzanne.
What are you drinking?
Delight. This is very cheap supermarket wine. It's called Richard's Wild Irish Rose. Anybody want to sponsor? You guys want to sponsor me? I will advertise. Hey, if you're looking for a good time, you want a nice buzz to go, try Richard's Wild Irish Rose. Yeah, this is good. It's good stuff. Got 13.9% alcohol and it costs $4 at the gas station.
Really?
Yeah.
At the gas station?
At the gas station.
They don't sell alcohol at gas stations here.
Well, you know, I'm down here in Redneckville. They sell beer and roadkill and all kinds of things in gas stations. Oh my gosh. So can we get you to do some yoga moves by the end of the show? You going to do that for you? Do it for us?
I could, but I have got some quite tight jeans on.
Oh, well, like I said, we'll stop the show. You can go change and then come back and boom. I don't want to put you on the spot. If you don't want to do it,
do you know what?
Don't do it. Don't let me bully you.
The one yoga move that I could do, that we could all do, may not involve what is considered any perceived movement.
Is it belly breathing? I don't want to do this.
No, he's sitting. And also, when you say yoga moves, it's like when we really simmer it down, it's about bringing what you practice on your mat into your everyday life. So being conscious, being aware, and being able to do that, be in that place in any environment. So you're practicing yoga now, maybe, or I am.
Yeah, I need to pull my shoulders.
But were you asking about what is perceived as a fancy posture?
Okay. I still want you to do the yoga moves.
Okay, no, I might, but
you might. You got her teasing me with the yoga. Oh
no, the reason I say might is because I'm very conscious that when I am teaching, I try and make it accessible to everyone, and I believe it's something that should be accessible to everyone. when you start, even though I can doing all these crazy things, a lot of people feel that they wouldn't be able to do that. And it's not necessarily about being able to achieve that at all. So
Okay. Gotcha.
that makes sense to you?
Yes, it makes total sense. And speaking of yoga, I'm actually going to start picking it up. I kept saying I was going to do this.
Why don't you come to my sessions?
When are your yeah, I'm supposed to, right? You spoke it into existence last time. I thought about this a couple of weeks ago. I was
In
like,
fact,
"Oh, she
on
said that."
Monday, I'm doing a 6:30 this time. So that would be what, 12:30?
5 hours before. So she's doing it at 6:30 p.m. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it on Monday. I'd only be to do it early on my time. It would have to be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Oh, and Friday. Friday, I do a chill out session at the same time.
Boom, I'll do that. I'll smoke some pot and I'll come see.
Yeah, exactly. Do that.
I'm just kidding, Mom, Grandma. I don't do the devil's weed. Oh my God. Yes, but honestly, I would love to, but you know how it happens. So much stuff goes on and then you forget and then blah, blah, blah.
Okay, I will remind you.
Well, I do it. I dare you. I dare you.
Yeah.
I double dog dare you, Suzanne. I got to ask you a quick question. So I saw some months ago, I think it was after you were on the first show with me, the Wrestling Diaries. What's his name? The dude from, he's Irish. He lives in Australia. I don't know why.
Oh, Keelan.
Are you good friends with Keelan? You know him? Because I think he came to visit you or something.
Yeah, he was over in the UK. He was down in London. He came up to Manchester for, I think it was a day. So yeah, it was really nice to meet up with him. I had a coffee, went for some food, and I actually spoke to him. Keep in touch. Spoke to him last weekend. Actually, he's back in Ireland.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So that's why he was in the UK. I think he'd left Australia, gone back over to Ireland, and he was coming over to the UK to do some work.
I did not realize that. Is he still doing his podcast? Was it Going the Ultra Mile or something like that?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think so. I've not caught any recently. I caught a little bit of a live last week, but
So I'm going to ask you now. We asked this last time. Maybe you're dealing with more stuff. Maybe it's more the same. Maybe you can talk about more things. What do you, Suzanne, Miss Preston, what do you wrestle with? And how can you beat it?
probably the same things I mentioned last time we spoke, though I can't remember exactly what I said. Also, I was thinking about this earlier when I went for a walk. Depends on my state of mind. Today I've been feeling quite positive, and a few weeks ago, like when I said I was feeling quite frustrated because of the general situation, I probably would have reeled off many things, but I don't know. I guess I don't know whether to be broad here across, like, or
You can be broad, or you can be as specific as
yeah.
you
Like
want to.
one thing I have found I have wrestled with a little recently is accepting that other people have their way of seeing the world that can be very different, and not to judge it. The reason I say that is a few weeks ago, my dad texted me saying, "Oh, I've been invited for my vaccine, whatever. I'm going tomorrow at 5." And personally, with this particular one that's just been rolled out incredibly quickly, and so I wouldn't touch it. But and I said, "Have you looked at the ingredients? You know, you look at the ingredients on your food and you put that into your body. Why are you not looking at the ingredients?" Anyway, he went off and did that. He's not spoken to me for a few weeks because you
asked him that question.
Because I've not asked him that question, but I said, I really think that you should. And I had to sit back and think, and I actually said it to him afterwards, sit back and think, I am okay with you choosing to live your life any way you want. But he was like, "No, you're not." I think it's actually a difficult place for us to get to. And that's one thing I found I struggle with. Actually, just allowing people to be however they want, with whatever opinions, and be okay with that, and being okay with how we feel in certain situations, rather than feeling as though we've got to feel a certain way. Does any of that make sense to you? Like I say,
Yes, it does.
And the other thing which sits in with this is being able to sit with an emotion that is not necessarily comfortable. And our immediate, or like mine in the past, immediate response is to want to do something else to get away from that emotion, not sit there, face it, accept it, and be okay with it. And knowing that it will change. So I guess that has been a struggle. But when you can sit and do that and actually feel it, then you have the ability to change things.
Like how?
What do you mean? Change by accepting it. You can then choose, do I want to feel this way? What is making me feel this way? How do I, in order to change that, I need to do something differently, or do something that's going to make me feel different. But we can only get to that point if we can be honest with ourselves.
Have you tried to articulate that point as eloquently as you have to me to your father?
Oh, going back to yes. Because I thought he's not been in contact, and we had been for a while. I thought I'd give him a call, and I could sense he felt bad, and I said, it's okay. We can have completely different opinions about 1,001 things, and actually still respect someone, still love them. But because not everyone sees things that way, defenses come up, and they get guarded and start.
Yeah, they kind of pull back, and they kind of gnash their teeth at you. I get it. People like to, unfortunately, even great people, good people, sometimes they live in this box, right? And especially in the world we live now, so many people have created these echo bubbles that they stay inside of, and everything that they say bounces off the bubble and then reverberates back to them. And for people inside of that bubble, it's just that bubble. You got to pop the bubble, right? You got to be open-minded. Seems very simple, but I feel like it's just the problem. People just aren't being open-minded about things enough. People don't question things enough. I used to think that because I was a huge cynic, very cynical about things, that it made me an asshole. But I feel like what it does is it makes me more of a student of the world. And I don't care if that sounds cheesy to anybody, but it's just the way I feel about it. And I wish to all high heaven that more people had that mentality to pop their bubble and just get outside, just listen to something else for a second. Maybe it's wrong, but how do you? And what also really makes me mad too is when people do deviate and they seek more information about something. A lot of the times, you see people, they sing to a different tune. They're like, oh, well, I guess I never really realized that. Well, why the hell do you think that is? You never gave it a shot, right? It's like when you're a kid and your parents are like, hey, try this. You might like it. You're like, no, I know I'm not going to like my vegetables. I know. That was for me for Brussels sprouts, right? And they're like, oh, you'll like it. It's fine. And I'm like, I don't want it. Or it wasn't Brussels sprouts, excuse me. It was broccoli. And it was steamed. And I was like, I don't like it. It's green. I don't like anything green. And I ate it and I was like, oh my God, this is delicious. Steamed broccoli is so delicious. There's probably people rolling their eyes at that right now. But for me, if I never would have tried it, I never would have realized. I know that might be an oversimplification of what we're talking about.
It makes a lot of sense, but I think a lot of this comes down to the fact that when we are not aware that we have been programmed in some way by everything around us and everyone around us, we can fall into that.
It's a trap, right? It's a trap.
Yeah, which is why I feel it's so important to do whatever you need to. People do different things, but in order to have a greater awareness, find out what's going on and see things, see the truth. You know, whether that's in yourself or in others or any situation, or the truth that broccoli tastes good. Wow, when you thought for whatever reason, even if it was rebellious, that it tasted like Sorry. But no, it's
good.
like, I really like broccoli. I love it.
Me too. Especially if you throw some cheese on it, son of a bitch.
And deep fry it.
I see. I never tried that.
No, I haven't. I was just.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, I should have tried it, right? Because I'm from the South. We deep
No,
fry everything.
I wasn't linking it in, but thanks.
Oh, you weren't? Oh, well.
No. It was more the fact that broccoli is perceived as being a healthy food, and add some cheese, deep fry it. I don't know. It could become something else. It could become a processed junk.
One thing I want to ask you, it's something I'm curious about. How do you feel about the way your life is now, opposed to you like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, however many years ago? Like, if you could, I asked somebody this before and I really liked it. I got a lot of compliments on this, but if you had this machine, I built this machine, right? Because I'm smarter than Elon Musk. Ding, 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 ding. Telephone time machine. You call Suzanne. You can pick any date, the date that you think you would need to have a conversation with your younger self. Which one do you choose and what do you say to her?
Okay, we just plucked one out of nowhere. So I don't know how long ago it was, maybe 10 years. I used to work on the door of a club. It was called The Circle. It was a private members club.
What do you mean you worked on the door? Like you took admissions and stuff?
Well, no, there were like, I think 7 doormen I worked with. Or
were you a bouncer?
Much of a bouncer, more of a host. But one main reason they wanted a female that wouldn't take any was because it causes less friction than a doorman saying no. And this place was down a little alleyway, that sort of back street in the city. And so often I'd stand outside because we'd close the door at about 2:30 and the place was open a lot later. So queues would form and I'd be like, no, we've shut the door. No one else is coming in. I'd go and stand out and have like a little roll up in the corner in a fire escape. Just observing to the I kept saying to myself, God, and then the following morning I would teach a yoga session at 9 o'clock. So it was like a complete contradiction. I'd say to myself, just see this as research, into human behavior. I know this might sound a bit odd, but because so much, really dark, crazy stuff happened. So I don't even know whether to go into this. One evening, this is just one example. I liked your silence has led me to express this. I'd done exactly that. We'd closed the door as such, even though there was a big queue. I'd gone off to have a little cigarette and just basically my own time. It's like when you're dealing with people all the time, just headspace. And I heard one of the doormen I worked with shouting and another one shouting. One of them ran into his car. They didn't realise I was there because I was sitting in an alleyway. And pulled out a gun. And then the other one locked him in his car to stop him getting out because he got so angry he wanted to go and show his power to one of the guys that was in the queue. And I remember standing there thinking, what am I doing? This was just one example, some like insane stuff going on. And going back to your question, if I was to speak to myself now, I'd probably say the same thing. See it as research. We learn so much from being in uncomfortable situations.
And then you feel like it makes you a better, stronger person because of those uncomfortable, difficult situations?
Why better? Definitely stronger. Yeah. When we've got more growth or experienced more, like these are waves, and it's gonna be more of an interesting journey, for one, and two, we have a greater understanding of whatever our life is. And because I do, I think to really know something isn't just to read it, it's to experience it, whatever that is, whether it be playing the guitar or whatever, or life.
So what do you say to your 10-year younger self in finality, in closing? What do you say to her? Suzanne, I just have to leave you with this one more piece of information from
what
the
do I say
future.
about
and it is ...
live dangerously?
I like that. Live dangerously. Sounds like a James Bond quote. Perfection.
Maybe that sounds as though it has more weight. What I mean is, live dangerously. Don't be led by your fears or constrictions and all these things.
Yeah, you'll never get anything done. You'll never see the grandiose sunshine if you're so scared to walk outside. And I've known a lot of people that are so, and these people too now with the pandemic going on, there's just this, it's extrapolated, right? They're just really pulled into their shells. And sometimes you do have to live dangerously. And it doesn't always mean you're just going out and risking life and limb, but do things that scare you, that won't kill you, but somebody wants to talk to the cute girl down the pub, or somebody wants to tell their boss off, whatever it is, just do it.
Yeah, simple things. That's why
it's nerve-wracking, but when you're done, you just feel, it's like after a good workout, you don't like me. I don't want to do it. Oh, I don't feel like doing this shit. I don't want to do it. And I force myself to do it. And then after I'm done, I feel like $1,000,000.
I know we're winding this up, but when you say you forced yourself to do this, about 2 weeks ago, so I think I mentioned before, I love swimming, not being able to, everything's shut. I braved the lake. Oh my God. It was snowing and icy.
Do you know how cold it was, temperature-wise?
We didn't take a thermometer, and I didn't even take any photos or anything. That was the last thing on my mind. It was get in. I was really, organized about it, because the main key when you're doing any sort of wild swimming in the winter is how quickly you can warm up when you get out, because your body temperature is still dropping 3 minutes after you get out. So it was the warming up. But I think I lasted, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute.
Wow.
I don't know. But that wasn't comfortable. I didn't want to do it. But I did. When you want to do something, like you're saying, training, you don't want to, but then you do, and you feel better for it.
I do. When I'm training or doing anything like that, I always, not always, but mostly, I'll try to take a cold shower. It is so freaking difficult. But it makes, I had a buddy of mine on the podcast, Jeff, and we were talking about it. I was like, but I'll tell you one thing. It sucks. It's disgusting. It's but it makes you feel more alive than you've ever felt. It puts you in your own self. You're very aware of everything that is happening to you.
Yeah.
And you appreciate, and then when you get out of it, you turn the dial off, the water stops, you get in your towel, you appreciate that like an ice cream sundae on a hot day.
I'm with you on the cold showers. I actually got an attachment that comes straight from the cold water instead of the electric shower, because it's not cold enough. Whereas at the moment, the cold water coming out of the tap is freezing. You do feel amazing afterwards. Stick with it. Yeah. I recommend it to everyone. And if you're not into cold showers, just have a hot shower. Then just before you get out, 30 seconds of cold.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Awesome. Miss Preston, thank you so much for being on the Wrestling Diaries again. This is the first time I get to say this. I'm going to really throw it out there again. Second guest, ladies and gentlemen. Look her up, check her out. Please promote Bliss and Chaos, and tell people how they can get in touch with you on your social media and all that other stuff.
On Instagram, you can follow Bliss in Chaos, or Bliss _. What is it? In Chaos. You'll find it. Bliss in Chaos. The other is my personal account, where I do post a lot about Bliss in Chaos. So that's Suzanne Nichole Preston, or Coco Lachette.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
I thought you were done.
Oh, wait a sec. Let me get the list out. We'll stick with that. You can also find
Okay.
a page on Facebook.
Yeah, I'll end up linking up a bunch of your profiles on the when the video comes out or the audio and all the stuff comes out anyway. And I definitely am going to do the yoga with you at some point, maybe Friday, like we said.
Like I say, they're all drop-ins. Just I'll let you know.
Yeah, I can use my laptop and I got a webcam and just boom, pull it up and all. Because I've been trying to get into yoga anyways. I really need it to help stretch everything out. Keep me from getting injured. Strengthen those ligaments and tendons.
It's also one of the reasons I'm actually sat on the floor rather than on a stool. Generally, people don't start until they've got an injury or they've been sat down for too long, for years, and they've got back issues.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to close this off.
Cool. Yes,
but then when we
it.
come back, Suzanne's going to turn herself into a human pretzel, right?
What would you like? I could do something that I can do in my gene.
We'll discuss it. I'm going to close it off. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Wrestling Diaries, the podcast show for the average Joe. This is my good friend Suzanne Preston from Manchester, England. Check her out, Bliss and Chaos. Go do some yoga with her. She's wonderful. She's excellent. Beautiful on the inside and the outside, and very, very well spoken. Thank you so much for being on today, Suzanne. We really, really, really do appreciate it. Thank you for coming back again and not thinking we're that crazy for wanting to hang out with us again. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you took something very wonderful out of this episode. It was fun. It was deep. All the good workings of an excellent conversation with two friends from two worlds away from each other. Check us out, YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe. Go follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Tell me, what do you wrestle with and how can you beat it? One love.